at the end of the day. Fire in the pipes and a blur in the eyes, where the clay meets the chrome and the sheet metal flies. It's a different kind of gospel, a different kind of heat, when the rubber meets the clay and the slide's complete. It's a Wednesday night street fight, hammer on the gas, tailing out and screaming, looking for the past. From the green flag drop to the checkered flags waving, it's a Wednesday night war and the dirt we're craving. No points for pretty, no room for grace, just a bent up bumper and a killer pace. Yeah, we're living for the slide and the engine roar. Wednesday night street fights, give us some more. Got a dirt track legend in a beat up Chevy and a rookie kid that's right foot heavy. He's searching on the high side, looking for some grip. One wrong move and he's gonna let it slip. He's leaning on the cushion, bouncing off the wall. You gotta have the guts if you're gonna have it all. Let the sparks fly high, let the header scream. Everything you got for that dirt track dream. It's a Wednesday night street fight, hammer on the gas, tailing out and screaming, looking for the past. From the green flag drop to the checkered flags waving, it's a Wednesday night war and the dirt we're craving. No points for pretty, no room for grace, just a bent up bumper and a killer pace. Yeah, we're living for the slide and the engine roar. Wednesday night street fights, give us some more. Hands on the wheel, white knuckle grip, keep the nose tucked in, don't let it slip. Riding the berm, a catfish in the bottom, find a gap and you know we got her.
Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as our season finale here in the Dirt Warrior Racing League's Wednesday night street fights. Live from Lernerville Speedway, these drivers are ready to rumble. They are ready to go to battle for what will be another amazing night of racing action as the bumper-to-bumper, fender banging, engine screaming, brakes squealing night of action here from Lernerville Speedway. As each and every one of these drivers looking to try to put themselves up and into victory lane. We'll get ready and locked and loaded here for heat race number 1. It's starting on the pole for our first heat race of the day. It is the number 3 machine. That is the Dirt Warrior Racing Wheeler Metals number 3 machine of Jeremy Vaughn. To his outside in the 7 machine, it is Jeremy Akins. Starting on the inside, row number 3. In the 727, that is Zach Clark. To his outside, in the 2 ride, that is Ty Ralph. Starting back in the 5th position, in the 0-1, that is Derek Rice. You'll have the 13, E of Monaghan there to his outside. And then we do see the TNT Racing number 99 ride of Tim Taylor, the 21, Shane Matthews, JC Floyd, and Stephen Burrow bringing up the rear of the field out there on the speedway as we are quickly green flag racing here from Lernerville Speedway. Heat race number 1 underway here for our championship night. One of these drivers will be crowned our champion, and it's down to virtually 2 cats, neither of them in our first heat race here this evening. So we do see Stephen Burrow up and off the banking there through 3 and 4, able to, luckily enough, keep it on all 4 there after taking a little bit of a launch down and out of core number 4. Luckily enough, able to keep on rolling, but now a little farther back there on the speedway. But out in front, it is that 3 machine of Vaughn. As now you see Monaghan with the slip up. Monaghan and Burrow, now they make contact down and out of corner number 4 as Monaghan trying to rejoin the field right there. Virtually the same as what we saw for Burrow in that opening lap. And unfortunately for both drivers, now deep in the pack as our top 2 will transfer through into the A-Main feature event. Everybody else will go to our consolation races later here this evening. One of those drivers trying trying to work their way forward, though, is that Get a Bumper Motorsports Cocky Floyd Consulting. Number 18 of JC Floyd. JC's trying to find something down low. He's been working himself forward here. He went from 9th, now up and inside our top 5 as he rolls in that 5th position, taking a peek underneath that 2 ride of Tyrell for that 4th position. Unfortunately, can't quite get there as they head down through corner number 3 and out at corner number 4 for Jeremy Vaughn. He will see the halfway marker out on the speedways. Now we see another driver running into issues. This time it's Derek Rice. Rice having problems. Shane Matthews also up and off the racetrack. Matthews in the TNT Racing ride falls back into 10th. Derek Rice now into 9th, but he's looking right back to the inside here of Stephen Burrow. Unfortunately, all these drivers are now on the outside of the top 2 looking in at our transfer positions. Is back there for that transfer spot. You see Zach Clark looking to try to make his move. Clark's looking to try to work his way right on through to our A-Main feature event, and it's going to get a little bit easier as Jeremy Aikens up and off the berm and goes for a slide. Luckily enough, able to keep it rolling. No caution flag. We keep it clean and green, but Jeremy goes for battling for that 2nd position, now finding himself back in 6th, and unfortunately a long ways away from our top 2 out there on the speedway as Vaughn running away with this one, but man, it's Zach Clark there in 2nd. He's only got a couple more laps left to go. Can he hold on and hold off JC Floyd as JC now into that 3rd position, has worked his way around Tyrell. Didn't have to deal with Aikens as he went up and off the racetrack, but he's only going to have one more lap to try to find his way around Zach Clark as Jeremy Vaughn out in front, continue to lead the way here, looking to set himself up nicely for our A-Main feature event is Vaughn down through 3 and out of corner number 4. It's Jeremy Vaughn who picks up our first heat race win of the evening. Zach Clark in that 2nd and final transfer spot in that Race and Dirt 727 ride. JC Floyd, Ralph, Tim Taylor, Aikens, Monaghan, Rice, Matthews, and Burrow will all have to go to our Consis here this evening as Jimmy 3 times in the chat says PSCRL is here. Let's get it, baby. Always loved seeing the Premium Stock Car Racing League guys in the comment section. Mr. Underwood in there as well says PeaceMaker equals daddy. Oh, brother, you know it. You know it. You're gonna get me all horned up here, Brian. You gotta be careful there, brother, saying call me daddy. Come on now, son. You don't want to be saying stuff like that. Come on now. As Dave Morgan says, let's go. Jeremy Sexton cheering on Jeremy here this evening, and we're going to get ready to see, again, neither of our championship hopefuls here in our 2nd heat race of the day. All right, so that means they may be in the same heat race here. For heat race number 3, that's going to make things very, very interesting. If our 3rd heat race of the evening is going to be a shootout here between our championship drivers, that could make things very, very fun, very interesting to say the least. We'll have to wait and see kind of how that one's going to get broken down and how that one's going to get lined up out there on the racetrack. But nonetheless, we're going to be here for it because it's going to make for a lot of fun out there on the speedway as we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to roll here for heat race number 2. Heat race number 2 about to come through. And each and every one of them looking to try to put themselves into a good position, potentially a winning position, trying to lock themselves in to a starting spot out on the speedway. So we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, and we'll get ready to go through our starting grid here in just a couple more moments. As here we go. It is Kent McLean. McLean will start in that pole position in his Dirt Warrior Racing League number 75 ride to his outside. It is the Dirt Warrior number 71. That is that Panda Nation, the Dirt Panda ride of Will Hargraves there in 2nd. The 4X of Ryan Howard will start in 3rd to his outside in the Sunrise Racing. Number 2, that is Cameron Stefanski. Starting back in position number 5 in the Dirt Warrior iRacing iFlag, the Grumpy Graphics number 57 ride. It is the grumpy old man himself. It's Jim Revis starting there in that 5th position. To his outside in the TNT Racing number 88, it's Cody Ernest. And then we do see the 33 of Dylan Simmons and the 101 of Jacob Sexton back there as Is that Tim Taylor from KY? I'm not 100% sure. No, it's not. There he is. He's in the chat. Here we go. Green flag in the air as quickly Kent McLean sees that green flag fly. He wants to try to get the same fate as what we saw for our pole sitter in heat race number 1 for Jeremy Vaughn, just to be able to put the hammer down, run his line, and pull away from these guys and try to keep himself in the picture here, as we do see the yellow flag fly, though, as we see a driver coming back out onto the racetrack, and it's Josh Patterson rolling out here. Missed the start of this feature event. Unfortunately, had to start down pit side as he rolls back out onto the racetrack. Caution flag will be displayed. Man, look at this ride, man. That JPEG graphics machine looking absolutely incredible here this evening. Actually, super like that, man. That nice, like, white and gray kind of lining with the orange in there. Whew! Baby, that thing's looking fresh. That is looking real nice out on the speedway. Unfortunately, though, I do believe that is going to bring out our first caution flag of the day. Now, it did show a little bit of issues for Kent McLean, but I just think that was Kent McLean kind of going by, and I think as the leaders were going by and he was trying to roll back in on the speedway, you saw the lights turn on right there. That's where that yellow flag gets displayed. So no issues, no problems for any of these drivers, but a quick roll here in this one, as Brian Underwood says, "Oh darn, say a lot of old names I've seen." Yeah, man, there's a lot of old school racers out there on the racetrack here, man. The Dirt Warrior Racing League, this is season 22 here for the DWRL. Season 22, and starting in 2 weeks from now, season 23 will be getting underway for these drivers, so that's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be some great racing, as Tim says, "I have to be..." Oh, no, Tim! Oh, man, that sucks. Whenever you have to go pee, is that Tim the Tool Man Taylor? It is Tim the Tool Man Taylor. What am I saying here? Am I having a stroke? It is Tim the Tool Man Taylor. That is for certain. That's usually what I call him. As Kent McLean sees that green flag fly once again here in heat race number 2, and quickly Hargraves down to the inside. Will looking to try to take that top spot away from him as they're beating and banging, battling 2 wide, 3 wide, almost a little bit of 4 wide back there deeper in the pack. As you see Patterson trying to work his way forward, he's rolling that inside lane, 3 wide, 2 rows deep there out at corner number 2, as we see Cameron Stefanski able to pull on through and looking to try to hold on to that 4th position. Unfortunately, though, that 4th spot on the speedway is not an automatic transfer into our A-main feature event, as he gets into Jim Revis. Jim, luckily enough, able to hang on to it. Unfortunately there for Cameron Stefanski, he gets really sideways, had to catch the car, luckily enough able to keep it rolling, but does fall back into the 9th spot out there on the speedways. Kent McLean hanging on to that number 1 position. He's playing with fire, though, rolling that outside rim. It is thin up there. It's been worn down, and if you miss it by an inch or 2, it can put you over the edge, and there goes Hargraves. Oh no, exactly what we were talking about, playing with fire up there on that high side lane. Unfortunately, no wall, no nothing to save you, and you watch the 71. The same fate as multiple drivers out there on the racetrack. In our first heat race, Hargraves ends up finding it here in heat race number 2. That's something we'll be looking at all evening long, as Jimmy 3 times says, who are the championship drivers? The championship drivers will be in the next heat race here, as it's Tyler Jackson and Jeremy Saxon. As you do see another driver with a mistake out of 4. Oh no, it's Ryan Howard up and into the outside fence. Oh, that is a tough hit right there for the 4X ride, as Tim says, my worst track, so I'm dialing in a 21st finish. Oh baby, 21st. Hey, you know what? It could be worse, that's for certain. 21st could definitely be worse. You know, you could be 26, you know, that's 5 spots worse. As the 75 of McLean continues to roll that outside groove, now without Hargraves there on his back bumper. Seeing the white flag fly, he's sitting in a perfect position, as he's just going to be, you know, on cruise control here for the final lap. Jim Revis right there behind him in that 2nd position, kind of in cruise control himself, no one to his back bumpers. We do see Dylan Simmons had worked his way up and into that 3rd position. Unfortunately, too late to work his way to the front of the field, as out in front it's Kent McLean. McLean picks up the 2nd heat race win of the day. Jim Revis comes home in that 2nd and final transfer spot there in heat race number 2, and unfortunately everyone else will go to our Consis here this evening as we'll get ready now for our third and final heat race of the evening, and this is the one we've all been waiting for because the two championship drivers, and man, no better fitting way to finish off this season with these random pill draw heat races than putting them into the third and final heat race. And they're going to put them both right on the front row here. There's no upper hand. There's no advantage, really, for either of these cats. And unfortunately for both of them, they're going to have to battle and beat and bang between each other and just hope that, throughout this race and throughout our 70-lap A main feature event, that they don't make any mistakes, that they don't slip up, and they don't put themselves out of the championship, as Jeremy Sexton will start in the pole position. So Jeremy Sexton and the Mad Dog himself, the 2020 Sexton Paint and Graphics, Body and Paint and Body, number 2020 Ryan will start there in that pole position to his outside in the Selena 52 truck stop. DWR number 8 machine T-Jack Tyler Jackson will start there in second with Philip Sexton. His Cocky Floyd Consulting KR1 EJR Gage Farms right there in third. Ricky Russell will start to his outside in position number 4 with Chad Puderbo, Tyler Ryan, Dakota Proud, Jonathan Foxworth, and James Ellington bringing up the rear of the field here in our third heat race of the day. And now we'll quickly get the graphic up right here. This is our point standings. See if we can make this a little bit bigger for you guys without messing it up too much here. All right, so we're going to make this just a little bit bigger so you guys can probably see that a little bit better. But Tyler Jackson coming into this race here with, 7 points separating himself and Jeremy Sexton. Hargrave, Stefanski, all those drivers, unfortunately, too far back. They will not be battling. They have no chance at winning this championship. But for the top two, 7 points separating them here this afternoon. And that means one position, each position throughout the heat races, throughout that feature event. When you add in the bonus points for a leading lap or leading the most laps or anything else, laying down that fastest lap time out there on the racetrack during that feature event may be the difference maker between claiming this championship or not. So for T-Jack, he's got a little bit of a gap. He's got a little bit of a comfort zone, but 7 points is not a lot. 7 points is not enough to feel comfy coming into this race. And for Jeremy Sexton, out in front here, he's going to look to try to pick up the win here in this heat race. Hope that T-Jack maybe falls back a couple more spots, but even if he finishes there in second, it should be a couple extra points into the back pocket for Jeremy Sexton, leading us even closer in that points battle for the championship into our A main feature event. So for Jeremy, he's looking to do everything he can here throughout heat race number 3 to keep that 8 ride back there at bay. For T-Jack, I know he's going to be battling hard. He's going to want to try to find his way up and around this 2020 ride. And right there, look like he got a really great entry, really great exit down through 1 and 2. But looks like down through 3 and 4, just rolling that inside lane for Jeremy Sexton just works way better. And now you see them kind of flip rolls here down through quarter 1 and 2. Jeremy goes for the block on the bottom side of 1 and 2, but here comes T-Jack, big run on the outside. I think if you can find that outside lane, it tends to be the faster way around the racetrack, but you're right there on the edge. You make an issue, you run into a mistake, you slide off the racetrack, and you finish back in 7th or 8th out there on the racetrack, and you give up all those points to the 2020 ride, and that could put you potentially into an even worse position when it comes to our A main feature event. As here they go, door to door, out in front as Philip Sexton up and off the racetrack. Caution flag will fly. Yellow flag will be displayed. We'll have to wait and see where iRacing scores these two. I think Sexton led the last lap. T-Jack would be back in second, but sometimes they'll give it to the driver that was leading at the time of the yellow. And it looks like it may still be Jeremy Sexton. But unfortunately here, for Philip Sexton, this is what we talked about, man. Rolling that outside rim here in this one. Shoots her up high. Goes over the berm right here. Car bottoms out, washes up over the banking. He's staring at the outside fence and does not want to come back out onto the racetrack with all these cars coming at him. Slows down enough, close enough to the racing surface that the flagman there sees it coming, sees it happening, throws that caution flag, and puts us under our first yellow here of heat race number 3. So our first heat race, or our third heat race now with their first caution flag of the evening. We'll put Jeremy Sexton and Tyler Jackson. I mean, they were already right on top of one another, but now you're bringing all these other drivers right back into the mix. Now put Puderbo, who's in that slingingdirt.com DWR number 20 ride, back there into the third position with Dakota Proud and Tyler Ryan rounding out our top 5. Ricky Russell has slid back into that 6th position, and then you do see James Ellington, Jonathan Foxworth in the 29, and Philip Sexton back there in that 9th position, as we'll get them all ready to rumble, ready to go back to green flag racing. As Hyatt says, that's his saving tire mode. Laugh out loud. T-Jack's not blinking yet. No blinking yet. No blinking yet. It is still a potential for those blinkies to start coming out. I'm sure, the Sextons might be setting someone there to cut his internet out or something here throughout the middle of that feature event again. I don't know. That may be something that may have to be in the works there for them. As here we go. Back to green flag racing. Jeremy, great restart. Great launch right there. That's exactly what he needed to try to give himself a little bit of an edge, a little bit of an advantage between himself and T-Jack. But already you can kind of see him starting to get things lined up, man. It's a chess match, and it's going to be a chess match between the two of them all night long. T-Jack looks low, but then shoots up to the high side here. The 2020 ride gonna keep on rolling that inside berm, and I think that's probably the smoothest and easiest way to try to keep yourself out in front, as Jeremy, nice and easy down and out at corner number 4. We'll see the white flag fly. So our final lap here in heat race number 3. T-Jack shoves it in there deep, gets into the grass, has to lock it down. Unfortunately, that will not give him the run he was looking for out of corner number 2. He'll settle into that second spot as Jeremy Sexton will pick up our first heat race win of the third heat race win of the night. T-Jack there in second with Chad Puderbo back in third. Dakota Proud, Tyler Ryan, our top 5. Unfortunately, though, everyone else outside of that top 2 all going to go to our Consis here this evening. And we'll get ready for our first consolation race of the night. Our first Consi here this evening as JC Floyd will be starting on that pole spot here for our C-Main consolation race. So, I don't know, man. We may be taking one driver out of this race. Let's take a look at it here. Our C-Main top 10 advance. So top 10 drivers move on to our A-Main feature event, and unfortunately, that means one driver here from at least this C-Main is going to be loading up their rides and joining the fans in the stands here this evening. So if you have a bad run, you make a mistake, you miss that berm, unfortunately go up and off the racetrack, you follow the rear of the field, unfortunately it could be the end of your night. As James Beaver's in the chat. What's good, James? James says, hello mister, how are you guys? Says, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys do us a favor. Hit the thumbs up button for us on the broadcast right now. Helps the stream out a ton. Helps us continue to keep on growing. And make sure you guys drop a comment. Let us know who you're cheering for. Who you want to see up in victory lane. And maybe who you want to see win this championship. Do you think T-Jack holds on and gets it done? Do you think he gets the championship here tonight? Or do we see from 7 points back Jeremy Sexton jumping up and stealing it away from him here this year? He couldn't quite get it done last season. Can he get it done this season for the 2020 ride? As we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to go. Here our C-Main about to get underway as JC Floyd and Chad Puderbo will lead us to the green flag. The 88 of Cody Ernest will start there in third with Tim Taylor back there in that 4th position. Tyler Ryan and Josh Patterson are top 6. Evan Monaghan back in 7th with Ricky Russell there to his outside. And then we see Will Hargraves and Shane Matthews rounding out our top 10 on the racetrack. And Foxworth back there rounding out our 11 car field. Top 10 will advance. One driver, unfortunately, will not go to our A-Main feature event. As here we go. Consolation Racing here at Lernerville Speedway as JC Floyd gets that green flag and quickly jumps out in front, looking to just try to run away from the rest of the field. Doesn't want any of that smoke that's back there behind him. Does not want to have to worry about making passes, trying to navigate his way through the field, or putting himself into a spot that could eliminate him here this evening. So he's just going to try to stay out in front and have no stress on his back bumper. And right now he's pulling far enough away that he's feeling A-okay here at the front of the field. 0.7 of a second between himself and Chad Puderbo, as we do see Cody Ernest and Tim Taylor, a pair of TNT Racing teammates there, side by side for that third and fourth position for Josh Patterson. Patterson's right there, as you see Ernest almost blow it over the cushion. Luckily enough, able to hang on to it, able to keep it on the racetrack right there, but that was very, very close. Saw Patterson have to kind of get checked up there a little bit to avoid running over him or running through him there in that outside groove. It's the 47, sends it in there deep. Here comes Tyler Ryan, here comes Will Hargraves trying to roll that inside lane, but the battle's on back there for that 10th and final transfer spot as Ricky Russell trying to hang on to it. Jonathan Foxworth trying to take it away from him. Right there with him, Shane Matthews, man. This could be a bit of a wild fight back here for that final transfer spot. None of these drivers here in our final race of the season want to be the odd man out here, and unfortunately finding themselves up and in the grandstands watching these drivers have fun in our championship night of racing action here with the Dirt Warrior Racing League. As unfortunately for Ricky Russell, he does fall back into about the 11th spot of the Speedways. Now we see Hargraves and Monaghan both up into the fence. There goes Monaghan. Monaghan is around back into the fence, and unfortunately for that SS Speed Shop ride, he is way back here now. He's got a lot of ground to make up. He's got to hope that somebody else runs into an issue, that someone else has a problem that could potentially open up the door for him to try to track down one of these other drivers and try to move himself into the show. As right now, JC Floyd with 1.5 seconds out in front, clicking these laps off in a quick hurry, as Chad Puderbo sitting solidly there in second in his Panda Nation Dirt Warrior Racing League iRacing iFlag number 20 ride. Josh Patterson now into third. Here is Tim Taylor trying to hold on to that fourth position as Cody Ernest. Will Hargraves, there goes Ernest! Ernest up and off the banking. Heavy right front damage here for the 88 ride, and here comes Monaghan. That's the break he needed. Monaghan back into a transfer spot. Cody Ernest, unfortunately, on the outside of a transfer position, looking in, and you can see the damage here out of the 88 ride. That right front is tore to shreds, and unfortunately looks like he is navigating his way back down pit side, and it looks like Ernest Knight may be done here this afternoon, man. Heartbreaker there for Cody Ernest. Unfortunately here, having himself a solid first half of this consolation race up on that outside lane, trying to keep Will Hargraves back there at bay. Gets up off the banking right there, and as it does, it just straightens him out right into the corner 4 fence. That front straightaway wall, unfortunately, it does not move, and it just absolutely tore that 88 machine apart, and now parked down pit side and off the racetrack, and he will be the one driver here in this C main not to make it into our A main feature event. As JC Floyd continues to lead the way, the Get a Bumper Motorsports number 18 machine, a rocket ship here this evening. We saw him flying through that first heat race, going from 9th to 3rd, and almost there to take over that second spot. Just could not get there in time as he rounds corner 3 and 4 here in the C main, able to see that white flag fly, and he'll be on cruise control back to the checkered flag as Josh Patterson, Chad Puderbo, Tim Taylor, our top 4, Will Hargraves, Shane Matthews, Tyler Ryan, Jonathan Foxworth, Ricky Russell, and the 13E of Evan Monaghan will be our top 10 to advance their way into the A main feature event as JC Floyd picks up our C main win here this evening, man. Great run right there for JC. Looks like he's going to have a hot rod, man. He's going to be a force to deal with here at the front of the field this afternoon, as James says, bad luck 88. Yeah, definitely some bad luck right there. Tough break, man. Cody Ernest, brother, that was a heartbreaker right there, man. Had a good car, man. It looked like he had that outside line for the most part figured out. He was running some really good laps up there, and unfortunately that's just That's just the fire you play with there, man. You play with fire, you're bound to get burned. And unfortunately, right there, through 3 and 4, Ernest got burned. And luckily enough for that 13E of Monaghan, he was able to stick with it and work his way into the A-main feature event. He'll be starting back there on the back row of the field. But, man, that was a big break, as I do believe for that 13E of Monaghan, he came into this race just inside our top 15 here in the point standings. But when we look back there at Hargraves and Cameron Stefanski, Jeremy Vaughn, they're going to need some big races here this evening. And with Vaughn winning that first heat race of the day, man, that is a big bonus for him, trying to keep himself inside the top 5 here in those point standings. As we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to go here in this one. As James says, Lernerville will grab you. It definitely will, and we've seen it a ton already here this evening. I'm sure we're going to see it a ton throughout the rest of this race as well, as Dylan Simmons will lead us to the green flag here in this B main, with Tyrell there to his outside. Dakota Proud in the 101 of Jacob Sexton, our top 4, with the 7 ride of Jeremy Akins, James Ellington, Cameron Stefanski, Derek Rice, Philip Sexton, Ryan Howard, and Stephen Burrow at the back of the pack. 11 drivers. Again, top 10 will transfer through. So that means 1 driver will unfortunately load up their ride and join the fans in the stands here this evening, as the outside lane down through 1 and 2 pays off here for the number 2 of Tyrell, as Ralph quickly takes that race lead, and he's looking to try to run away with it. Saw what the 18 ride of Mr. J.C. Floyd was able to do there in our C main. He's looking to do the same thing here in the B main, as he's hoping to try to pull away from Jacob Sexton and that number 19 of Dakota Proud. Proud just continue to roll that outside lane, as you do see the 33 ride of Dylan Simmons falling backwards here. He's now almost par here in that 4th-5th position, with the other 33 of James Ellington right there trying to work to his outside. And here comes that 2 machine of Cameron Stefanski. Cameron's trying to work his way forward here. We saw him go up and off the banking, and I do believe that was the first heat race of the day, and unfortunately ended up with not a ideal finish there. Had to start, mid-pack here throughout this B-main, and now just hoping to try to punch his ticket into the show, not wanting to make any mistakes. You can see that too, Ryan sticking with that inside lane, not wanting to really try to travel up to that outside groove, as he knows it's dangerous, it's treacherous up there, and if you make that mistake, the same as we saw out of either the 13E or potentially out of the 88 ride of Cody Ernest, your night could be done, and you could be the 1 driver here in this B main that will be watching from the grandstands during our A main feature event. Is out in front, the 2 ride of Tyrell, still just hitting his marks here, man, laying down some great lap times here, looking to try to continue to pull away from Jacob Sexton. Sexton in tow there in position number 2, as Dakota Proud sits in 3rd. Ellington up and into position number 4, as Dylan Simmons falls all the way back into that 5th spot of the Speedway. So for the Sunrise Racing, number 33, we'll see if he can try to work his way back up there, see if he can gain a couple more spots here during the second half of this B main. Cameron Stefanski sits in 6th, with Jeremy Akins, Philip Sexton back in 8th. The 101 of Derek Rice is in 9th, and Stephen Burrow in the 45 ride rounds out our top 10. So for Steven, right now he's on the hot seat. He is in that 10th and final transfer spot, the 4X rider Ryan Howard. Unfortunately, he's on the outside looking in here right now, and for this 4X machine, it's not a fun spot to be. You do not want to be sitting back here in the 11th spot on the racetrack and seeing these laps continue to get clicked down in a quick hurry. He knows he's running out of time. He's trying to do everything he can to track down that 45 ride. He wants to at least try to put up a battle, try to put up a fight here for that 10th and final transfer spot into the show here this evening. Unfortunately, he's only got 5 more laps to try to get it done. He's got 5 more laps to either get lucky, have someone in front of him make a mistake, maybe go up and off the banking, or that he's going to have to try to find that extra gear, jump up there, and try to make a move around Burrow or Derek Rice, Philip Sexton, one of those drivers back there deeper in the pack for the final positions here in our A main feature event, as the 2 rider Tyrell, though, out in front. Continue to lead the way here. You're starting to see Dakota Proud put a little bit of pressure on the back bumper of Jacob Sexton. Sexton just trying to hang on here to that 2nd spot on the Speedway, knowing that it comes with a pretty solid top 10 start out there on the racetrack for this A main, but man, the 19 ride, he says, I want it, goes for the slide job, crossover out of Sexton, he'll head back down deep into corner number 3 and 4, he'll look to do the same thing, and there it is, slides up in front of the 19, gets a great exit right there, but here comes Proud, looking to give it right back to him. So Proud again, another slider, another crossover, seems like the 101 may have the advantage though, especially as they head back down and across the start finish line. So if you're the 19 ride of Dakota Proud, you gotta hope that you can beat him back to the line. You're only gonna have one more lap, one more try at it. You may have to try to size him up and set him up as, oh, look out, contact, Ellington gets into the 19 of Dakota Proud, and Ellington down in the infield. He'll fall back to 11th as Tyrell will pick up the B-main win. Jacob Sexton will come home in second. Proud in third. Dylan Simmons, Cameron Stefanski are top 5 with Akins, Philip Sexton, Derek Rice, Stephen Burrow, and Ryan Howard in that 10th and final transfer spot. Unfortunately, James Ellington will be the only driver from that B main to be eliminated, and what a heartbreaker there for Ellington. He was running in that 4th position, took a big run to the inside of the 19 ride, unfortunately washed up into the side of him. That kind of got them both tangled together. He goes around, and unfortunately we saw the outcome of it, because he goes from battling in that 4th position in a transfer spot, locked into the show if he just doesn't have that issue. Unfortunately, sent it in there, had that mistake, now finds himself up in the grandstands and watching the rest of tonight's racing action from the pit side here this evening, as we'll get them all ready to rock and roll. We'll get them all ready to jump out there and go to battle. As you see, T-Jack already out there, Jeremy Sexton's out there as well. They're making sure that they are comfortable, they are locked and loaded and ready to go to battle here tonight, as our 2 championship hopefuls gonna beat and bang and battle here this evening for the checkered flag. Sexton will have the better starting position with that 3rd heat race win. Obviously, we'll see T-Jack back in the 6th spot for the start of this feature event. So for the 2020 ride, he'll start in 3rd. T-Jack will start back in 6th. T-Jack is going to have to try to keep himself right there with Jeremy Sexton. Hope that Sexton does not, 1, lay down the quickest lap of this race, and 2, leads the most laps in this race and still finishes 1 spot in front of Tyler Jackson, because I think with Jeremy picking up that heat race win, the bonus point from that may make it only, 6 or maybe even 5 or 4 points separating the 2 of them going into this race. And if that's the point difference here, if Sexton can lead the most laps and have that quick time, that's 2 more points into the back pocket of the 2020, which means that it could come down to the bonus points and that difference between 1st and 2nd here late in this race. So for T-Jack, he's just going to have to be on his A game. Cannot make any mistakes, has to make sure he's there at the end, has to make sure that he can try to win this race and try to win this championship. But boy, oh boy, it's going to be a nail-biter all night long, as we'll get a quick drink into us and we'll get ready to go back to battle. Here in this one, as Evan Stefanski says, man, they are lucky I'm not there. I'd have this in the bag. Am I right, Aaron? You're right, Evan. I know it. We all know it, brother. We all know it. This would have been your race, man. They are super lucky. I mean, you had them shaking in their boots, man. They knew that they were not going to win this race. Everyone was going to be battling for 2nd here tonight, but you didn't show up, and you blessed them with an opportunity for someone else to find victory lane here this evening, and they thank you for that. As we'll get a quick break in here, and we'll get ready to rock and roll in this one. As Blake says, Mr. Gaston in here? No, unfortunately, Mr. Gaston is not in this race, unfortunately. It'd be cool if he was, but unfortunately, not a part of the Dirt Warrior Racing League. As we'll get a quick break in here, as we'll get ready for our A-Main feature event, 70 laps of racing action here, about to come right at you. So don't go anywhere, because you do not want to miss this A-Main feature event.
The sun drops low and the lights kick on. Midweek madness till the break of dawn. The boys are back. where the clay is slick, hammered down while the air gets baked. It's a game of inches and a lot of nerve, trading pain on every curve. It's a street fight on a circle of clay, chasing the ghost for a win today. Riding the verb, a catfish in the bottom, find a gap and you know we got 'em. A roll of the dice on a win or a loss, playing with fire, no matter the cost.
Woo! Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you came here for a show. Well, here you go, as our season finale, a main feature event is underway here this evening, as each and every one of these drivers looking to find their way into victory lane for the final night of racing action here in season 22 of the Dirt Warrior Racing League's Wednesday night street fights. For a couple drivers, they're duking it out for this championship. We'll go through it throughout this race, but starting on the pole here in this one is the DWR number 3 machine of Jeremy Vaughn. To his outside, it is that 75 machine of Kent McLean. One of our championship hopefuls, the 2020, the Mad Dog himself, Jeremy Sexton, will start back in that third position, and the 727 of Zach Clark will start to his outside. The grumpy old man himself, Jim Revis, will start there in 5th, and to his outside, it is the 8 ride of Tyler Jackson, our championship leader and another championship hopeful here this evening, starting back in 6. J.C. Floyd, Ty Ralph, Jacob Saxon, and Josh Patterson are top 10 as we end all the anticipation with our feature presentation, as we are quickly green flag racing here from Lernerville Speedway, as Jeremy Vaughn out in front. Great start right there, but he's trying to keep that 2020 of Jeremy Sexton back there at bay. Jeremy right on his back bumper with the outside, paying dividends there for the 75 of Kent McLean, as McLean still trying to keep himself in position number 2 as the first caution flag of our A main is going to be displayed. So the first yellow flag here in this A main looks like it may belong to the 71 of Mr. Hargraves, as we'll take a look here. Here comes Will, storming down the back straightaway, deep down into corner number 3. Looks like he gets a little help right there. The 21 ride going to get into his back bumper right here. That is Shane Matthews, who's going to get into him here, and unfortunately just going to hook that DWR machine ride around right there. Knocks him loose, turns him around, and then nowhere to go if you're the 29 ride of Foxworth. Foxworth kind of drives into it. Nothing that he could do to kind of really avoid that one, and unfortunately plows right into the side of that 71 machine. As here you go. There's the contact between 21 and 71, and there's Hargraves parked on his front bumper. Now, luckily enough, not any major contact there for Foxworth or the 71 of Hargraves. Now, unfortunately for Hargraves, he will lose a lot of track position, and so won't the TNT Racing number 21 of Shane Matthews. And now we do see Tim Taylor out there as well. He's got a black flag on him right now. I'm not sure what the black flag is for. I don't know if it was maybe just a pass before the start-finish line or something out there on the speedway. He is back 11 positions from where he started, but we'll see if that black flag gets cleared or if that's going to stay on him here this evening, as Fox Body Fernandez says, "Let's go, Vaughn, number 3." Yes, sir, that's what it's going to be all about here in this one, as Jimmy 3-Time says, iRacing ARCA Series Clean Racing League Homestead Speedway is the name of the show Gaston's in. Yeah, there you go. That's where you can find Gaston. That's where you can find him right there, brother. As unfortunately not here, not enjoying the dirt track racing and some of the best shows here in iRacing out there on the racetrack on PeaceMaker Gaming, as Jeremy Vaughn, great restart, great launch for that 3 machine as you look to keep that Wheeler Metals ride out in front, trying to lead all these laps, knowing that this could be really, really important. This could be a big thing that that he's doing right now. Sticking out in front, keeping that 2020 of Jeremy Sexton back there at bay, maybe opening up the door here for that 8 ride of Tyler Jackson to try to work his way up there. But T-Jack kind of content and kind of trapped up there on the outside lane. He's got JC Floyd and Jim Revis down to his inside, and unfortunately for T-Jack, I feel like he's probably going to be more comfortable. He's going to want to be more down towards that inside groove. As look out, we see Clark. Woo, baby Clark a little bit slippery and sliding down through corner number 3. Luckily enough, able to hang on to it, able to keep it on the racetrack and did not blow it off the berm, and able to keep on hunting here this evening. But out in front, it is Jeremy Vaughn, who's got the top spot, who continues to lead the way. But man, look at JC Floyd down low. JC's making it work on that bottom lane, and he's trying to navigate his way to the front of the pack, and so isn't Josh Patterson. Patterson's right down there with him, trying to work that beautiful J-Pack graphics. Number 74 PA ride right into the hunt here at the front. Unfortunately for T-Jack, he's still up there on that high side. He's kind of fallen back now. He sits in about that 6th position still on the speedway, but he's got the 74 looking down to his inside. The 2 with Tyrell is right there with him, and we'll have to wait and see if T-Jack can try to find his way around a couple more of these drivers, see if he can try to work his way up here to that 2020 of Jeremy Sexton, as if he starts to see more and more of these Sexton Paint Body, Cocky Floyd Consulting rides work themselves around him, it could really make things difficult for him to try to find lanes, to try to find the grooves that he may need to work his way up towards the front and have a good shot at trying to lock in this championship here in Season 22. But out in front, Jeremy Vaughn looking to finish Season 22 on a high note. Out in front after leading every lap in our first heat race of the day. The 3 machine looking to do the exact same thing here throughout this A main feature event, as he's just got that outside lane figured out, man. He's got her hooked up there, and he is ripping the ram here at Lernerville Speedway. And for the slinganddirt.com, BMS number 3 machine out in front, already 10 laps complete, be 11 laps this time by the start finish line, so we're already working down a lot of laps out there on the racetrack, and they're going to continue to click them off in a quick hurry as we'll look through a lot of these drivers right now. And it looks like for Jeremy Vaughn, being at the front of the pack may give him the quickest lap of this race as well. He's ran a 17.97 seconds, next quickest, and the only other driver inside the 17th second. Actually, no, there is another driver. There is 2 drivers now inside that 17-second bracket. The other one was Jeremy Sexton, but now the new quick time goes to the 19 of Dakota Proud. Dakota with the 17.94, the quick time out there on the racetrack. So Dakota Proud now with the quickest lap of this race. We'll see if anyone else can jump up there and try to knock him out of that top spot and steal that extra bonus point away from the 19 ride. I know Jeremy Sexton's going to want it. I know T-Jack's going to want it as he jumps up into that 5th position. Unfortunately, looks like that bottom lane maybe starting to fall away a little bit here for the 18 ride of JC Floyd, as JC watched up the racetrack right there, trying to find his way back underneath of that Selena 52 truck stop. Number 8 ride of Tyler Jackson. He got into him last time through quarter 1 and 2, gets into him again there in 3 and 4. Luckily enough, T-Jack able to hold a pretty wheel, keep that thing rolling, keep it pointing the right direction. But Vaughn out in front, man, looking to just run away with it. I'm not sure if he's, I mean, there's no mirrors, but I don't know if he's getting word in the Discord from his teammate, the DWR number 8 ride, that, man, he is hurting right now. It seems like that car is not as happy as it wants to be, and obviously with the 18 ride working on his back bumper, making things that much more difficult, and in a track that is so slick and slow, easily able to just slide up off that banking. That extra bump through one of these corners could spin you around, could put you over the banking, could put you into a bad position. In a quick hurry, as here comes T-Jack. He shoots down to the inside. Oh, baby, we knew T-Jack was going to want to see that inside lane work out there on the racetrack. It looked like he was at least going to try it down through 1 and 2, jumps right back up to the high side through 3 and 4. So I think he's starting to move around, starting to kind of look and see, you know, maybe where's the quickest way around this speedway? Where is the quick line? When can he kind of make a move, make a strike here? As I know his main goal is going to be to finish in front of Jeremy Sexton. If he can accomplish that, he should lock in his win of the championship here this evening. As Jimmy 3 times says, the 8 is sponsored by Selena Truck Stop. It is sponsored by the Selena 52 Truck Stop. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is. That is Mr. T-Jack. Tyler Jackson, man, he's got it. He's got the stuff. He's the guy to beat, and it is definitely beautiful. And he's got the Piss Jug Man also up on top of it here as well. Let me see if we can get a look at it. Control R. Nope, that's not the right button. That was the refresh button. Alt R. Is that the button I was looking for here? Oh, I don't even know now. It's so long since I've used this. All right, come on, come on. Trading fans, wrong button, chat, wrong buttons. Bear with us, bear with us. He does have the Piss Jug Man as well on top of the lid there. Okay, it's a little back in. Let's take another look back at it. You can kind of see it from here, from that angle, but he does have the P Jug Man on top of him. He says them in Weber Valley Speedway. Yeah, man, yep. Those are the boys, man. Those are the boys. I could tell you who runs each and every one of those channels, but I'm not gonna indulge anymore on who runs those. But yeah. Some good buddies, a lot of good friends that, have been here in the dirt scene, that have been in the action and in these broadcasts a ton in the past. And, hopefully one of these days we'll get them back out there and see them back out on the Speedway. But, yeah, there are some pretty hilarious pages, man. They make a lot of funny posts. And a lot of times, I mean, what is it, 3 or 4 times now that they have tricked actual news outlets and news media about what's happened, whether it's something crazy at the racetrack there at Weber or something that happened at the truck stop, and all of a sudden ABC or CNN or somebody has it on air and they're talking about it even though it was just some AI created thing. Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. But Kent McLean still sitting in second here, man. Probably the best run we've seen out of McLean here in a very, very long time. And for the 75 ride, hooked up here, got that KP plumbing machine sitting pretty out there on the racetrack in that second position, keeping the Mad Dog himself, Jeremy Sexton, back there at bay. Zach Clark hanging on to that 4th position as T-Jack back there in 5th. And then we see Ty Ralph in that 6th position, really putting the pressure onto the back bumper of Ty Ralph as Ty Ralph trying to keep himself right here in front of him, trying to stay in this battle for that 5th position. And for T-Jack, he knows he can't really bleed any more positions, knowing that the 2020 ride is only a couple spots here in front of him. If he leaks any further back, it opens up that possibility that Jeremy Sexton may have enough points to steal that championship away from Tyler Jackson here this evening. So I know for T-Jack, he's just going to be right there within striking distance of that 2020 ride all night longer, for at least as long as he possibly can. As Jeremy Vaughn, man, what a run here for Vaughn. Man, he's been putting on a show for us out in front, and he's opened up, about 6-7 tenths of a second now between himself and Kent McLean. I mean, if this stays clean and green, if we don't see a caution flag fly, this could really work well into his favor. Oh, look out! Oh, he spoke of the yellow, and it happened. Oh, Zach, Mr. Clark, you can put that one on me, brother. You can put that one on me, mister. That was my bad. I jinxed him. Chat. That was my fault right there. Zach, brother, that's a tough one, man. That is a tough one, man. The voice of Race On and Racing Dirt, Mr. Zach Clark, unfortunately. Tough break there for him in this one. Let's see if we can take a look back and see what happens. I got a sneaky suspicion that we already know what happened. I have a feeling that he's going to find that outside berm, and he's going to test his fate with going over top of it, down through corner number 3 and 4, and down into 3, and up and onto the banking, and off the banking, and there she goes. And ends up kissing that concrete safer barrier down in out of corner number 4. Unfortunately, big hit right there for that 727 ride in our second caution flag, first caution flag now of this feature event. I think second yellow flag. Second yellow flag here of this feature event. Clark's going to take it down pit side here. I'm not sure if he's going to get it into the pit stall, get some work done to it or not, but it looks like he's just going to pull her in there. He's not going into his pit stall, so we'll have to wait and see if he can get back out there and back into the action here before the end of the night, because I think he's going to want to try to keep on battling. He's going to want to race his way back up there towards the front of the field, but unfortunately, he's going to have a lot of traffic to try to work his way through as he still sits down pit side here. There he goes. Okay, now he's rolling. Rolling again. Let's see if he gets into his pit stall here and gets this thing repaired and back out onto the racetrack. As looks like he's going to find his pit stall. The crew is going to go to work trying to get him back out there, so it is fixed up, but he's got to be... it looks like he's not going to make it out in time here. If he can tag on with the rear of the field, he might be able to get back in on the action, but does not want to go a lap down out there on the speedway, as we do see Jeremy Vaughn. Great launch, great restart there for him, but there goes Ken McLean. McLean off the banking out of corner number 2. Down the back straightaway, Grass, luckily enough, able to keep on rolling, but now contact between him and the 4X ride. Hang on to it, McLean, and now here we go, duking it out at the front of the field. Here comes Sexton, here comes T-Jack, Jeremy looking for the race lead. Vaughn not going to want to give it up here very easily as he'll beat him back down and out of corner number 4. So Jeremy Vaughn holds on to the top spot. Now here comes T-Jack down low, washes up the racetrack, looking to pull up in front of the 2020. They're door to door, beating and banging down into corner number 3 and 4. This is what we all came to see. It's a dogfight between the Mad Dog and T-Jack out there on the speedway. The Alpha Shark looking to pick up another win and another championship here this evening, but Vaughn looking to steal the win away from him in that 2020 ride. Looking to steal the championship away from Tyler Jackson here this evening as T-Jack finally makes his move, able to take a couple of those big swings, big runs, and puts himself in front of the 2020 ride of Jeremy Sexton. Now he needs to hold on to that spot. He needs to keep him out in front for at least another 34 laps of racing action to try and win the championship here again this season. And with Jeremy Vaughn out in front, Vaughn just led lap number 36, leading all the first 36 laps of this race. He led the most laps here this evening. So there's no bonus points for Tyler Jackson, no bonus points for the 2020 ride of Jeremy Sexton here. It is virtually, you know, that 5-6 points separating the two of them here for the championship. Late in this race, man, it's going to get really, really fun real quick as Arkla Tech's announcer, our boy Zach Clark in the chat says, my right front got too far right, and I got high centered, and it wouldn't turn in. Yeah, that is tough, man. That is tough. I mean, that is just Lernerville, man. That's Lernerville right there in a nutshell. Everything can be going fine, then all of a sudden, just one mistake, one slip up, one back corner, and your night's done. Night's cooked, and unfortunately, it does look like Zach Clark is going to park it down pit side here for the rest of this race. As James Beaver says, you can't park there. Just playing. Yeah, you can't park there, unfortunately, Zach. You could not park there. That's why the yellow flag came out, brother. You can't park there. Is Vaughn, though, out in front, continuing to hold on to the top spot here. Looking to keep T-Jack back there at bay. I know for T-Jack, he wants to win this race because he knows he wants to win this championship, but honestly, I know he wants to see Vaughn back up in victory lane. It's been a long time since we saw Jeremy Vaughn pick up a dub here in pretty much anything here on iRacing. He took a little bit of time off, obviously with real-life racing action and everything else. He took a long time away from these dirt street songs, but over the last year, he's been getting back into them, and he's been stepping up week after week after week, having some really, really good runs, some great performances. But for this 3 ride, he's cooking with fire because he's got a lot of hungry drivers back there behind him. And here comes T-Jack. Slide job, crossover out of the 3 ride as T-Jack looking for the race lead. That's going to put Vaughn down low into corner number 3 and 4. Here comes the crossover out of the 8 ride of Tyler Jackson. They'll be door to door for the race lead, and this is the time for Jeremy Vaughn to try to make something happen here. For Vaughn, he needs to find his way out in front, and oh baby, caution flag comes back out. That may have just saved Vaughn's bacon right there. As the yellow flag gets displayed, it will be another restart here, and it's still Delaware final restart, so he'll have that front row all to himself. As let's take a look back and see what happens, as it looks like a pair of 20s potentially running into issues here. So Chad Puterbo, Philip Saxon, looks like Puterbo just up the track there a little too far, ends up into that outside fence, gets stopped there on the outside of corner number 4. Unfortunately, iRacing will throw that caution flag with the car stopped on the speedway, and that will bring us to our 3rd yellow flag here of this feature event. But it does not take much, man. That one single slip up, that 1 inch too far, is all you have up there on that outside groove. You go a little too far, find yourself over it, and here we go. Right there. Back on the gas, the rear end kind of kicks out a little bit for Jan Puderbo, gets up and over that banking. Car just kind of straightens out, straight up over the banking into the outside fence there, almost the exact same as we saw for Zach Clark, just a little bit more into the center of the corner where doesn't quite get dead on into that fence, but unfortunately, still some tough breaks out there. As Sam in the chat says, had bad connection problems. Oh no! Oh no! Initiate Sam. Who the heck is that one? Oh, is that Sexton? Is that Jacob? Or Shane Matthews, maybe. I don't know. There's a couple guys that are already done here this evening. Shane Matthews, one of them. Looks like Jacob Sexton took in his car back down behind pit wall. Same with Zach Clark, Tim Taylor, and I do believe Chad Puderbo still rolling out there, but for a few drivers already done here this evening. But out in front, it's back on like Donkey Kong. Jeremy Sexton now in position. He's looking for the race lead. He wants to be out in front. He knows this may be one of his golden opportunities to try to get it here in this one, or at least to work his way back in front of that 8 riders. Now he has contact with the 18 of J.C. Floyd, and now we see the caution flag come back out as cautions breeding cautions here late in this race. Tires are fading away, drivers are running into issues, and we're going to see this one just inside our top 10 as Philip Sexton had worked his way up there, and it looks like, oh man, him and J-Pat right there have some issues. Let's take a look at this one, because for Patterson, looks like he was doing a great job. Had raced his way up here. He was just outside the top 5. Let's see if we can get another look at this one, another angle at it. So he's going to send it into the corner. And, oh, it looks like contact right there. So the 2 rider, Ty Ralph, slides up ever so slightly. Kind of tail tags that left front tire of the 74 ride, and as that happens, it kind of straightens out the 74 right there. There's the contact, straightens him out. He washes up the speedway. Now he's trying to keep himself on the racetrack, so he's checking up. Unfortunately for the 20 ride, Philip Sexton does not realize that, drives right on into him. Big damage there for the 74. Big damage for the 20 ride as you see Philip hard up into that outside fence. And unfortunately for both drivers, that's probably going to take them down pit side here for an extended period of time. It's Mr. Matthews, Shane, brother. Tough break, man. Tough break. Our final race of the season. And running into those connection issues, man, that is never very fun. And unfortunately, now you get to, watch the rest of this one from pit side, man. But unfortunately, I know you want to be out there, man. Everyone wants to be out there enjoying this racing action as we get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to green flag racing. It was scored for Jeremy Sexton in that second position. He elects to use the outside lane, the same as Tyler Jackson there during that last restart. So for Vaughn, another big restart, but there's contact. Look out. It was a lot of contact, and unfortunately, oh, hang on to it. Jeremy Sexton's getting bounced around. Oh no, he's in the middle of 3, 4 wide, back down into corner number 3. More contact as he gets bounced into from the 33 of Dylan Simmons. Oh no, worst case scenario here on this restart for Jeremy Sexton, and I think he knows that that may have just been his chance to win this championship as he sees Tyler Jackson take control of the race out in front of the field. Vaughn unfortunately slides back into that 3rd position here. He's battling with J.C. Floyd, still wanting to see if he can at least come home in that 2nd spot, maybe get a late race caution flag that could work himself up and into maybe a chance for the win here this evening again. But for Jeremy Vaughn leading the first 44, 45 laps of this feature event, that one mistake on the restart, tire spin, and I don't think that for the for the 2020, he did not have that one on his bingo card here this evening. And for Sexton, it just did not work out for him. Let's take another look back at it. So here we go into corner number 4, and right there, actually you can almost see that there may have been a little contact here between the 2 of these cats. So let's take a look right here. So it looks like on this restart, you see a little tire spin out of the 3 ride, but then it gets even worse here. As a little bit of neck code, maybe a little bit of a nudge to the back bumper from the 2020, and all of a sudden, it kind of loses that speed, that momentum for the 3 ride. They make contact again, which kind of gets them more sideways on the racetrack, which brings them kind of down and into the 8 ride of Tyler Jackson. pushes him back up the racetrack into the lap here of the 2020, and then from that point on for the 2020 ride of Jeremy Sexton, just trying to hang on to it, very sideways right there. Luckily enough, able to keep it pointing in the right direction, but you see out of corner number 2, it gives Tyler Jackson the race lead. The 2020 still getting bounced around and watching his counterpart here for that championship pull away. So he's looking to make some moves late in this race, but with T-Jack out in front, it is going to be a lot of fun here in this one, because for Tyler Jackson to pick up another championship, another win, and a lot of money that's on the line here this evening to put into his back pocket is another great day here on the simulator as T-Jack continuing to try to hold off J.C. Floyd. Floyd right there in position number 2 as Todd Saw says, oh, video game racing, laugh out loud. This looks like fun to do, not to watch. Hey, brother, everyone to their own. You're in here watching, though, so enjoy the motherfucking show as here we go. T-Jack out in front, continuing to hold on to the top spot with 15 laps left to go. Trying to hold off J.C. Floyd as Vaughn back into that 3rd position. Jeremy Akins into position number 4, up 14 spots from where he started, man. Great run for Jeremy Akins here this evening as well. Tyrell, though, slides back into that 5th position, and back in 6th is where we see the second driver looking to battle for this championship, that 2020 of Jeremy Sexton in position at number 6 on the Speedway. Will Hargraves there in 7th with Tyler Ryan, Cameron Stefanski, and Dylan Simmons rounding out our top 10 here on the Speedways. Now Tyrell running into more issues. Oh no, there goes Ralph off the banking and into the outside fence in corner number 4. We've seen it already a few times here this evening, and unfortunately, that's going to slide him deep in this field, but a late race caution flag may have been exactly what the doctor drew up for Jeremy Sexton. As not only does he gain a position here late in the race with the 2 ride falling off the racetrack and sliding back behind him, but he also draws in a whole lot closer here to Tyler Jackson for this race lead and for this championship. So it's going to come down to a late race restart and some craziness here late in this race. We'll see if T-Jack can hang on to it and keep himself out in front as we'll get him ready to rock and roll, ready to go back to green flag racing as Tyler Ryan up and into 7th now. Cameron Stefanski there in 8th. Dakota Proud's worked his way up and into 9th, and Dylan Simmons rolls there in that 10th position. Stephen Burrow, I'm not sure where Steven's going, but he's going to roll up here as Jonathan Foxworth. Man, Foxworth having a pretty solid day here at the Speedway as Ryan Howard, Jim Revis there in 14th. Chad Puterbo, Josh Patterson there in 16th. And then we see Ricky Russell, Kent McLean, our outside pole sitter, our second heat race winner of the day, back in that 18th position. Unfortunately, you make that mistake, man, you fall off that racetrack. You slide back, you're deep in the field, and it's a lot tougher to try to navigate your way through the pack. As Brielle says, Zach is, I think Dakota spun the tires or something. I wasn't even trying to pass him. I was just running the same line. I had to be running the whole race, but it is what it is. Hopefully my buddy Jeremy Sexton can bring home the chip. Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be a lot of tight racing, but for the 8 rider Tyler Jackson, he's right where he needs to be. He knows if he can win this race, he'll win the championship. So he's looking to do everything he can to keep J.C. Floyd, Jeremy Vaughn back there at bay, and the one driver he cannot let past him late in this race is that 20 of Jeremy Sexton. Is Jeremy door to door there with Will Hargraves. Hargraves trying to navigate his way up and through the field here as it's some tight racing up in that outside lane. It's getting thinner and thinner. The tires are falling off these race cars, and unfortunately, it's going to be a lot of beating and banging. You see Jeremy trying to force his way up there into that outside lane. There's not a whole lot left down here on the bottom groove, so he's trying to find a hole to slide up and into. Unfortunately, his time is running out, and his chances to win this championship are starting to get thinner and thinner as Tyler Jackson out in front. Even if he doesn't win the race, even if J.C. Floyd steals it away from him, he still wins that championship as long as he keeps Jeremy Sexton back behind him here in this feature event. And right now, there's a big gap between Tyler Jackson and that 2020 of Jeremy Sexton. And now there's at least 4 other cars between them as well. But for T-Jack across the line, it's 8 laps left to go here this evening. As Todd says, how does one become a driver in one of these races? Well, you got to get yourself a PC, you got to get yourself a good steering wheel and pedal setup, and then you got to get iRacing, man, and then you got to join in on some of the recruitment races here with the Dirt Warrior Racing League and hope that you can run clean, run good, and you know, potentially get your ticket into the show here, get your ticket into the series, as not everyone gets in here, unfortunately. This is the best of the best out there on the racetrack, and there's a lot of drivers that do not get the opportunity, that do not get their chance to become one of the Dirt Warrior Racing League drivers, as Season 22 coming to a close here in a quick hurry as Tyler Jackson down through quarter number 3 and out of quarter number 4. The Salina 52 truck stop. Number 8 of Tyler Jackson sees 5 more laps left to go. Now he just wants to see this stay clean and green. Does not want to see another late race caution flag. And there it is! Oh, man, every time I open my mouth, even thinking about a caution flag, one gets produced out there on the speedway, man. You can't make it up, ladies and gentlemen. It is not scripted. It's teammates here to Tyler Jackson, the 20 ride of Chad Puterbo, and potentially the 57 ride here of Jim Revis. See Jim getting a little bit loose there. And the 20 ride right there working to his back bumper. They shoot it down into corner number 1. And unfortunately, it looks like Tyrell, who was up inside our top 5, trying to race his way back up there. Unfortunately, I mean, he may just be a little upsetty spaghetti here because he knows that he kind of stepped on it, went off that banking, and now back here stuck in traffic. And you can see him on the back bumper of the 20 ride. And as they get into corner number 1, just stays right on it, kind of hooks him and spins the 20 ride around. And then you see Rice slide into it, the 21 to Ricky Russell gets a piece of it. There's Stephen Burrow having to drive up off the banking to keep himself out of it. And unfortunately, that is the late race yellow flag that T-Jack did not want to see. So for J.C. Floyd, Jeremy Vaughn, an opportunity for them to maybe steal this race win. But for Jeremy Sexton, man, if they get beaten and banging, if they get battling, something happens here to that 8 ride of Tyler Jackson. You got to know he'll be ready to shove his car right into the middle of the battle to try and see if he can work his way around T-Jack and try to win this championship. As Fox Body says, this should be interesting. This is definitely going to be interesting, as James says, turn 4 is trouble tonight, and says, I jinxed it. I definitely jinxed it. Anna, what's good, Anna? Anna, this is Alessandro in the chat. How are you, Anna? How you doing? How you doing tonight, lady? As coming in, showing the love here in this one. We appreciate that. As here we go, getting ready to go back to Green Flag Racing for what could be our final restart here on the season with the Dirt Warrior Racing League. T-Jack with a great launch, great restart, but here comes J.C. Floyd trying to get wound up on that outside lane. They get a Bumper Motorsports, EJR, Cocky Floyd Consulting, number 18 ride, looking to hunt down our Season 21 champion and our potential Season 22 champion. Tyler Jackson is T-Jack out in front, looking for the championship, looking for the race win. His counterpart, the driver that was battling with him for this championship, the 2020 of Jeremy Sexton, back there in that 6th position, seeing his championship dreams drive away out of his front windshield as he battles door to door with Will Hargraves for the 5th spot on the speedway. Hargraves down low, though, looking to slide up in front of him, can't quite fill that hole as T-Jack down through 3 and out of corner number 4 for the final time. And out of 4, the white flag will fly. Our final lap here in Season 22. And for Tyler Jackson, looking for the championship as he'll lead us for the final time down into corner number 3. JC looked deep down low, but the block out of the 8 ride doesn't open the door for him as T-Jack, Tyler Jackson, the Dirt Warrior Racing League Wednesday Night Street Fights winner here in the season finale and our champion here in this season. Back-to-back championships here for Tyler Jackson, man. What a run. What a drive here for T-Jack. We know he's going to be pumped up for this one. Obviously, another win into his historic iRacing career, but another championship to go along with it, man. What a run, what a drive, and what a performance there out of that 8 machine as we'll get ready to pull him and the rest of our top 3 up and into the broadcast booth here for their post-race interviews. As JC Floyd, man, right there at the end, trying to do something. He was hoping T-Jack would go to the high side, open up the door for him for maybe a big slide job. Unfortunately, T-Jack kind of knew that was coming. Blocked that inside lane, blocked that slide job groove. Unfortunately, JC had to get onto the binders to avoid running through him and running over him. And Jeremy Vaughn, man, led the most laps here this evening, started that pole position, still came home with a very solid third place run out there on the speedway, man. Great runs, great racing here as Revin Garage says, good run, Revis. Yeah, great run there for Jim as the grumpy old man back in that 12th position. I know he would have loved to have gotten back up in the top 10 here for the season finale, but man, he's going to be pumped to see one of his Dirt Warrior Racing League drivers pick up the championship here this year as T-Jack gets it done. Back-to-back seasons winning these championships, man. We'll get ready to see T-Jack slide into one of the other voice channels, so that way we can jump in there with him, as he always has comms issues here in the Discord. So we'll get ready to see T-Jack jump in there, and then we'll jump in with him here in just a second. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, man, what did you guys think of that one, man? What a race, what a show, what a performance here by these drivers, man. That was a ton of fun. That was absolutely incredible. These guys put together a heck of a show for us, man. Heck of a show for us all season long. Huge shout out to all of our amazing sponsors here as well, man. We could not do it without them, so a huge shout out to each and every one of the amazing sponsors here with the Dirt Warrior Racing League in season number 22, man. And for all of them, hopefully we see them back here for season number 23 as well. As huge shout out there to Apache Design, Apache and Home Solutions, iRacing iFlag, the Dirt Warrior Promotions, Jeremy Vaughn Racing, Mama Schuller Chassis, McLean Motorsports, Dog House Racing, Shark Bike Motorsports, Grumpy Graphics, and the Dirt Warrior Racing League all coming in, making this happen with their sponsorships, man, putting money on the line for these drivers, but money on the line for me up here to be in the broadcast booth, so we can't thank them enough for that, and obviously for everything that these drivers get and win here in this season. So huge shout out to all of them, man, as we'll get ready now to pull in our champion, Tyler Jackson here. We're still waiting on T-Jack to jump into one of the other rooms here. I can't move him out of the Discord room that he's in. So if we're going to wait for him, we may just pull in our second place finisher, JC Floyd, first here. JC's already in there. Let's get him up there. We'll wait for T-Jack to slide into one of the other channels there and then get him up into the booth. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we'll start here with our second place finisher, JC Floyd. Hey JC, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker Broadcasting booth. Take it a copy.
What's up, sir?
Not much, JC, man. What a run. What a race for you this afternoon, man, as that was a heck of a show. An amazing battle out there on the speedway, obviously, for yourself, trying to navigate your way up through that traffic, up towards the front here. Then late in the race, trying to find your way around Tyler Jackson, battling there with Jeremy Vaughn, and right there at the end, a nail-biter as it looked like you were trying to make that slide job lane one more time down through 3. T-Jack threw the block on you, though. You had to get on the fighters to avoid running through him there, and unfortunately did not get an opportunity to try to steal this win away from that 8 ride. But man, heck of a drive, heck of a performance for you out there on the speedway, man. It was slick, it was fast, it was awesome racing action here to close out the season, and another very solid finish for the 18 ride.
Yeah, I kind of figured after like the B mains, the track was going to kind of get locked up to the top, and then I seen Ty was trying, where everybody was nose to tail, and Ty's out here pushing me, and I'm not trying to kill the the points leader. So I'm like, you know what, you can just have it. You know what, you go kill the points leader then, and then, I don't know. It was all right race. It sucks that this track just gets so freaking top dominant, and it's just follow the leader, and it's all about who's. I mean, I was sending that thing up there on the top trying to catch him. I don't know. This place is weird. I was like faster than him, but I just was never catching him, so I don't understand that. That's weird. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Seemed like he had a lot of speed, a lot of pace in that 18 ride, and TJ just doing a fantastic job out there. But man, just take us back through this one because this track's so slicked off, man. How do you kind of decide where you want to run? Because that outside groove is so treacherous, and we saw it through the heat races, through the Consis, and then obviously here in this feature event, that 1 inch too far, you're up off the banking there. Was it worth it to be up there? Obviously, it had the speed, but in the grand scheme of things, slide off that edge, man, to put yourself out of this race, could have been very, very costly to a driver like Tyler Jackson or Jeremy Sexton out there on the speedway.
Yeah, this place is very hard when it's on the top, but that's like where all your speed's at. I mean, it's literally like the centimeter. Like if you look, I think it's usually 3 and 4 is kind of, I feel like is a little bit more grippy usually, and then 1 and 2, if you can catch that, there's like that huge like cushion off. I don't know how much you race here or not, but if you catch that big kind of cushion off of the 2 on the top, it pretty much launches you forward. So if you can hit that every lap, which I think that's where I was kind of catching him, and then he was beating me in 3 and 4. He was kind of keeping it a little bit straighter than I was, but I just, like I said, once you're in second, you're literally trying to drive the living crap out of your car to get to him. So. And then not run him over.
Yeah, exactly. Not running him over, not drawing a huge controversy out there on the racetrack, as I'm sure that would have had everything up in a world of hurt for everybody here this afternoon. So that was at least a good break. But, man, it was a heck of a show, heck of a run for you guys here tonight. And obviously for yourself, being able to, drive the way you did up through that heat race and then put on a whooping there in that B main. And then here we are just driving forward, picking up those spots and late in this race, giving yourself a chance and an opportunity here and another win out there on the racetrack here at Lernerville Speedway.
Yeah, I wish I could get a better heat draw one of these weeks. Like, I used it up on Monday. I started pulling the first one, so I was like, well, give me an EOL. And I'm like, well, shit, I just used probably my good draw for the week. And then, of course, go 9th again tonight. And which I like, I like taking those anyway. Just, I get more excitement, I guess, out of it when I start in the back and I do pass people. Yeah, it's fun to win if you're starting on the, like, I always want to win, but like, I think winning from like 7th or something like that instead of winning from the pole would be just kind of more exciting to me, I guess. I mean, I've been on this game forever. Winning's everything to me, but I mean, I don't know, just racing with all your friends. And like last night, we had a good race last night. Me and Ethan just beat the crap out of each. We raced the Brayson Collins League. We beat the crap out of each other for 30 or 40 laps, and I'm telling you, that's probably the best race I've had in this game for a long time. So whenever you can just get on here, have fun. I don't race for points because I'm not into the whole drama thing that comes down with it. And I don't know, I just get on to have fun, and that's what we're here for.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the key right there to it, man. Jumping out there, having fun, enjoying your time away from, life and all your worries and everything else, and just enjoying the, compassion and camaraderie here with your buddies, and enjoying some great racing action out there on the virtual racetrack. And here tonight, man, it looked like you guys were having a lot of fun out there, man. There was a lot of great racing, a lot of great battles, and here you are being able to get it capped off here for our season finale in position number 2. JC, who'd you like to thank for another great run and strong performance out there on the racetrack?
Just you for putting it on. Everybody at Cocky Floyd, all the Sextons, Derek Rice, Jordan Gage, all of them. Congrats, Tyler, on the championship. Jeremy, I think he got second. So we'll be back next year. Probably not point racing. Like I said, I'm not into the whole point. I don't want to commit to something every week when, there's other stuff to do. But I enjoy coming out and just running whenever I can, and that's about it.
Absolutely, brother. Well, we always appreciate when we see you out there on the racetrack, and obviously we are able to put together great performances like you did here tonight and joining us up into the booth, man. We can't wait to see you back out there for a few select shows in Season 23 here of the Dirt Warrior Racing League. With JC, great run, great race, man. Congrats on the second place finish, and we'll see you back out there on the racetrack in the next one.
Thanks a lot, brother.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our second place finisher, J.C. Floyd. J.C. comes home in position number 2 here this evening. Unfortunately, not quite the top spot as we'll get ready to pull in our champion here in season 22 of the Dirt Warrior Racing League's Wednesday night street fights. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here for our champion. It's Tyler Jackson, T-Jack, with the championship. Let's jump up here with him right now. Hey, T-Jack, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker Broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
Hey, what's up, Aaron?
Not much. T-Jack, man. You got her done here in this one, man. A nail biter all night long, but you're able to come through. Some, mid-race caution flags gives you a good opportunity. Obviously, we saw Vaughn have such a good run in the first, 40 laps, 50 laps of this race. Make that mistake on the restart, kind of spinning the tires there. Things got a little log jam there between yourself and Jeremy Sexton. Unfortunately, Sexton got the worst of it, and you came out of it with that race lead. And from that point on, you just hit your marks and never looked back. Even with the pressure from Vaughn and with the pressure from J.C. Floyd, didn't make a mistake, didn't slide out there on the racetrack and open up the door for them to get around you. And unfortunately for Sexton, could not work his way back up towards you here to make the points that much tighter. And for yourself, you knew you had it. Obviously, being able to win this race, you win that championship. So, brother, congratulations not only on the race win here tonight, but being crowned our back-to-back champion here in the Dirt Warrior Racing League Wednesday night street fights here for season 22, man. Congratulations, brother. Man, that's heck of an accolade, heck of a race, heck of a performance all season long, again, for the 8 machine, man. Take us back through it and what's going through your mind.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, it was. The night was pretty intense. Me and Jeremy starting 1-2 in our heat, and Philip was there in third. I thought he could have probably poked his nose in there too. The way the track was sitting right there, I didn't really know the line in the heat, and I was just kind of going where Jeremy wasn't. We got inside him a couple times and had to jam the brakes up real hard and just not get into him, and was trying just not to hit him or spin him, so I thought we were going to get him there. We were pretty dead even, or maybe even had a fender on him, and I think Philip went off the track and caution came out, so kind of sucked losing that heat race. And then you start doing math in your head. Saw he was lining up third, I was lining up 6, and I just basically the game plan was I knew it was going to be really high side dominant the way those B mains went, and the game plan was just to run the top but not run it aggressive. Basically run the top and try not to lose ground, but not really get after it all I could. And those first, I don't know what it was, 30 something laps, we were just single file freight train. And I was 6th or 5th, I can't remember, but I was doing the math in my head, and I think it was going to be dead even. And until we got some cautions, and bunched us back up, I didn't know if we were going to be able to do anything or not. I was trying to run a slider line in 1 and 2 and kind of scare the guys on the outside without hitting them. And you could get to their door, but like you went into 3 and 4, there was just nothing to do. You couldn't slide them going into 3 because there was more cars in the train. So just got kind of lucky with cautions. I knew JC was going to be quick. And then that last where Vaughn actually, I was telling him I was catching him, and I was like, you tell me what corner you want me to slide you, and I got no response. And then I was like, all right, well, I guess he's not playing or whatever. So then I just threw one on him, and he threw one back on me. I didn't think he was going to throw one back on me, and caution came out, and I thought we would have had him cleared, and caution came out, and then he keyed up to me in Discord. He's like, hey, dude, he's like, no offense, but I haven't won one of these races in a very long time, so I'm not giving you anything. And, you got to respect that. So it was a little tough pill to swallow there, being on the bottom. I didn't know what was going to happen. And then I guess he missed a shift. I guess he shifted 3rd to 4th there and spun the tires, and Jeremy got into him, and Vaughn came across my nose. I thought we were going to wreck. And once we got clear to that, I saw Jeremy fell back, and I don't know, 5th or 6th, and JC was on me. And Monday night we ran a practice race here, and I tried to run really hard the top and just see all I could get out of it. And once he was pressuring me, I almost thought about letting him go, but then I don't know, something in my mind, I thought that'd just be bad karma letting him go, and a caution comes out, and all of a sudden I get stuck in the wrong lane, and Jeremy shoots by me or something. So I just kind of pussyfooted up top. I wasn't pushing it. And then he must have fell off or kind of stumbled or something. And I saw he was back to a second. So then I just started running the slider line. There's no real danger of falling off doing that. And I saw him catching me. And then that yellow came out with 3 to go. And I couldn't run the slider line anymore because I thought he'd get a run on me. And the last thing I wanted to do was start a slider battle with him and, him accidentally knock me off the track. So, stuck it back up top, and one of those laps I really ripped it. The last 3 laps, and I think I had a couple tenths on what I was turning. But it's a weird race to run where you really can't give it all you got because you got too much to lose with no wall.
Yeah, absolutely. No wall, no saving grace up there, nothing to kind of fall back on if you do miss that cushion. And we saw that a lot here tonight. Obviously, the majority of our caution flags were from those issues. Drivers going up over that banking, especially down through 3 and 4, getting into that corner 4 fence and stomping on the racetrack there with the tore up race car. And that's where we saw a lot of our yellows here this evening. And I knew, obviously for yourself and Jeremy Sexton, man, you do not want that to be your fate. And have a championship be decided by a simple mistake like that out there on the racetrack. So even early on, it kind of surprises that you guys were just so high side dominant. I kind of thought we'd see more drivers kind of elect to try to run that inside lane, try to keep themselves off of the outside issues, and unfortunately, it just seemed like the outside just had so much speed, so much momentum that no one could really find that run down low to be able to stick with it.
Yeah, I don't know. If you went down to the bottom, you were going to give up so many positions in front of the half of the race that you would have never got them back. Even if you would have let some of those guys fall off, you wouldn't have won the race. I had 2 guys fall off right in front of me, and both times that I saw the rear end kick out, and then all of a sudden I see their left front up in the air, and I try to dive. I kind of hit the brakes and dive down low, and I almost got. Clark wasn't bad, but McLean, I almost caught him. He almost caught my right rear, and if he would have caught my right rear, we would have been down. We'd have been down that back there with the boats and the campers and shit. So it'd have been bad news. So it was lucky, a lot of this comes down to luck. I really hate that for Jeremy that he missed that shift, and I hope those guys know that there wasn't any games being played by teammates or anything. It was just unfortunate, an unfortunate mistake, and worked out for me. I don't know what would have happened if he wouldn't have missed that shift. We probably would have lost positions being on the bottom. I don't know if Jeremy would have been able to get up there and win. Even if he won the race, I think I would have had to fall back probably to 10th or something. So yeah, it was congrats to him. He's really fast on here, and for the amount of time him and Philip and Jacob have been on here, that I've been on here, I don't know, what, 7-8 years now. It's been a long time, and they've only been on here a couple, and I know JC's got them sped them up a lot with helping them out and getting them to drive the car right and then tuning their stuff. And yeah, he kept me honest all season. Had a lot of championships come down the wire, but this one was definitely one of the more intense ones with no wall. I just kept thinking in my head, if I drive this thing off this track and lose a championship like an idiot, I'll never hear the end of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely do not want that hanging over your head here, especially after winning last season's championship and then throwing one away here this season. That way would have been a heartbreaker. But you're able to hang on to it, able to keep the 8 ride out there on the speedway, not making that mistake, and you find yourself not only winning the championship, but winning the race here this evening. T-Jack, who would you like to thank here again tonight, not only for the win, but for championship here and so many great runs and great performances throughout the season?
Yeah, thank you for the broadcast as always. Love going back and watching them and trying to learn some stuff. And Jim putting on the league, all the guys at DWR, even Jeremy Vaughn, who wouldn't give me a spot there. But yeah, it was a good season, man. I had a couple issues with my VR and computer blinking, and maybe I didn't blink tonight. I don't know. I didn't hear anything from anybody, so I changed about 20 something settings inside iRacing, inside the files using AI, and got this VR I must have got it like last Saturday, and just been trying to get it tuned in. It's a little bit different than my old one, but we ran all week, Sunday through tonight, and got pretty comfortable with it. And yeah, just thanks for everybody that comes out. I know next year Jim's switching it up. He's paying points reverse in the heat. So if you want all the points in the heat, you got to finish last, and then you got to kind of run the gauntlet through there. So I think I'm gonna go for points. I like points racing, so I probably won't get many wins, but we'll be getting 10 points every heat.
Absolutely, that's going to be very, very thrilling to watch and see. As obviously, you guys are going to have to work yourselves from back deep in the field for those consolation races, and then throughout the A mains, even just trying to work yourself back up to the front to try and get some race wins. And I'm sure you're not going to be the only one that's on that game strategy, trying to earn those last place points. We may see heat races where you guys aren't even trying to win. There may be no one out there that wants to win the thing. So that'll be interesting to see how that works out and see who may end up having to, unfortunately win a heat race there next season. But it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be very exciting. It's going to create for some great racing and great points battles throughout the year. And can't wait to see what you got in store for us and see if you can try to go for the three-peat and win your third championship here in the Dirt Warrior Racing League Wednesday night street fights.
Yeah, you might want to renegotiate. You might want to charge hourly. Those heat races might take a half hour each. We might be putting around there, but yeah, can't wait for next season. I think we're starting in 2 weeks, and he's going to do a lot of different stuff with the track settings. So hopefully, some of these tracks that are always one lane, like tonight, one lane top. Hopefully, he can get some settings where we can maybe get the bottom to come in and just try something different, because it's not a lot of fun just running around there in one lane. Nobody's really happy. The guys that can't pass aren't happy, and if you're leading, I guess you're happy. But other than that, it kind of takes the fun out of it when you can't pass. But he had some pretty good settings on Monday night. We ran the bottom in the middle of the track for the first half of the race, and hopefully he hits on something, and we'll be back for more. Hopefully, hopefully a three-peat, and we'll see what we got.
Absolutely. T-Jack, enjoy the rest of your night, man. Don't party too hard down there in Victory Lane, and obviously enjoy another amazing championship here, man. Another great accomplishment for the 8 ride here this season, and man, we can't wait to see you back out there for season 23.
All right, thank you, Aaron.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our race winner and our champion here on this season, Mr. Tyler Jackson, man. What a run, what a race, what a performance here tonight for T-Jack, getting the job done out there on the Speedway, not only winning that race, but claiming that championship, man. A nail-biter all night long with him and Sexton, man. That was a heck of a show, heck of a battle here, and obviously for him, it was tough. We talked about that throughout that middle portion. That 3 right of Jeremy Vaughn, we said, it's been a while since he's found Victory Lane. I'm sure T-Jack, as much as he wants to win it, he'd be happy seeing Jeremy come home with the win here tonight. Unfortunately, Vaughn, with that mistake, cost him a couple of spots there on that restart, and he ends up locking in, though, and finishing here in that 3rd position. So let's get our 3rd place performer up here into the booth. Hey, Jeremy, it's Aaron up here into the PeaceMaker broadcasting booth. To get a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Aaron.
Jeremy, man, what a run, what a race for you here, man, to close out the season as that 3 machine is hooked up here tonight, man, leading a lot of laps. He led all the laps in that first heat race. You start on the pole here for this feature event. You lead, the first 43, 44 laps of this feature event, and then all of a sudden on that one restart, it looked like you spun the tires there. T-Jack was saying that you might have missed a shift, trying to upshift right there from 3rd to 4th. And unfortunately, as you did that, you spun the tires. And then all of a sudden, you kind of get a little sideways. We see Jeremy get into the back bumper of you. That shoots you down into the T-Jack, which shoots you back up and into Jeremy. And you're kind of just getting pinballed around right there down the front straightaway. And luckily enough, you're able to hang on to it, keep it pointing the right direction. But you give up that race lead. Now, luckily enough, it was a teammate, coincidentally and obviously not on purpose, but for T-Jack, he's able to, get around you, keep himself going, hold J.C. Floyd off to win the race, win the championship. But for yourself, man, a heck of a drive out there, and still being able to come home with the 3rd place finish to finish off the season, man. It's got to feel really, really good, and got to feel like, you're firing on all cylinders going into season 23.
No, I stepped on it, Aaron. That's all it is to it, bud. I I second guessed myself and was trying to stay behind the pace truck, so I downshifted to third, and I should have stayed in fourth like I was planned on. So I hate that for Sexton because, I mean, don't get me wrong, I wanted them two to race it out, but the last time I was leading one of these is when they was open sets and I was at Bristol and I didn't put enough fuel in it. So I really wanted this, and this is one of my better racetracks. So
Yeah, and obviously in prime position to get it done here this evening. Obviously, you'd have your hands full with Jeremy on your back bumper and T-Jack right there as well, and you throw JC Floyd and all these other amazing drivers into the mix. You just never quite know how it would have worked out if someone was going to be able to get around you, but you're in that prime spot here for the first half, more than the first half of this race. Looking stout and looking like you're going to finally find your way back into victory lane. We talked about it throughout that middle portion. Once we kind of saw T-Jack work his way up and into that second position, I kind of felt like, as much as he wants to make a move to get around you, to try to steal this race lead from you, because he probably wants to win, but at the same time, he also wants to make sure he locks in this championship. I mean, I'm sure he'd be pretty happy with seeing you find victory lane here tonight as well.
yeah, I had left my mic up or whatever and wasn't talking to nobody in Discord because for some reason I get more nervous on here than I do in the real car. So I wasn't talking to nobody. He's like, "Where do you want me to throw it?" And I was like, "I got my mic up. I can't say nothing to nobody." And then one time going down the back straightaway, I put it back down. And I was like, "Sorry, dude. I'm not being rude, but I'm not just gonna give it to you." I said that I haven't won or been up front in a long time, and I said I'm gonna race you just like I want to race everybody else.
Yeah,
But
absolutely. No friends here when it comes to winning races and obviously trying to get yourself, back into victory lane, get that monkey off your back and back into the winner's circle here. And tonight, it looked like it was going to be your night, man. We were cheering you on. We thought maybe you'd get it done, but unfortunately, got to settle in for third, man. I mean, take us back through it, though. I mean, what's going through your mind after, obviously, running so good so early on? I mean, you were able to battle back, though. We saw you have, Jeremy Akins right there. You had that Tua Ralph right there. You still had a lot of very fast cats around you that you were able to at least hold off and just waiting for maybe a couple more late race restarts, maybe open up the door if JC and T-Jack start racing for you to maybe squeeze back by him and steal this win from him there. Unfortunately, just never really got that opportunity.
no, after that restart or whatever, I kind of pretty much made myself kind of sick to my stomach, to be honest with you, and I was really just focusing on not sliding off because I think when I finished, I was at 48% on the right rear, so it was pretty slick getting in. So I was just trying to really baby it. And then JC went off in 1 and 2, but I couldn't make up any ground on him. But I don't even, I look at the relatives every once in a while, but once they get by is the only time I really look in another car, actually, because I listen to the spotter more than anything. And sometimes it might hurt me, but I race these on here like I would in real life. So if I'm gonna get into you, it's on pure accident because I still treat this like I got to work on it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, Jeremy, man, another great run. Obviously, a great season for you as well. I believe when I was looking at the standings, you were back in that fifth position here coming into the race. I mean, Hargraves far enough in front of you that you probably weren't going to catch him, and then who else was there for
Yeah, I
fourth?
wouldn't have caught Will. I wouldn't have caught Will. That drop, I think, with the last time I looked at it when Jim had put the drop, I think it dropped me back to seventh, but I don't know about with me running third tonight and leading the most laps, so it'd be close.
Yeah,
I
well,
just like to stay in the top 5.
with the last update that I got with the drop points, you were sitting in fifth, 3 points back of Cameron Stefanski, and Cameron came home in 10th, and I mean, you did lead the most laps plus won the heat race and everything else, so I think you probably would have leapfrogged Cameron and finished at least in the fourth position in the point standings here this season. So silver lining. I mean, a strong run, a good race for you here tonight, and at least fourth place here to finish off season 22 of the Dirt Warrior Racing League.
Oh, yes, sir. Like I said, this is fun. I have a lot of fun. I really appreciate Jim for one, letting me on the team, and then just putting this on every week. Gives me something to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Gives you something fun to do, something good to come out and battle, week after week after week, and now only a week off, and we're right back into the swing of things with our 23rd season here of the Dirt Warrior Racing League, where you're going to get more opportunities, more chances, and hopefully, many more nights like tonight where maybe you get a little bit more lucky, maybe you don't make that mistake and find
And don't
yourself
step
back
on
up.
it.
Yeah, exactly. And find yourself right back up here in victory lane. But Jeremy, heck of a run, heck of a drive out there on the racetrack, man. Who would you like to thank for obviously another great race tonight, but a great season as well here in the Dirt Warrior Racing?
First and foremost, I got to thank Jim again and DWR and all the guys over there. Wheeler Metals, WR1, Dirt Panda. You keep looking at the car here. I don't get to do this very much. BMS Racing Engines, that's a real life sponsor. Velocity, that's a real life sponsor. Slingingdirt.com. And then Viv's Retail Liquor. And I think that's it.
Beauty. Well, Jeremy, great
And
run.
then you for sure putting on the broadcast. I like TJ said, I like to go back and watch these as soon as we get done. So
Well, I certainly appreciate it, brother, and I cannot wait to see you guys back out on the Speedway, man, right back into the action. So, obviously, a tough one here tonight, but a great race still and a great season for you. Jeremy, look forward to seeing you back out on the Speedway in a couple weeks, and hopefully, as I said, man, right back up here in the broadcast booth and maybe a couple spots better and back up into victory lane.
I just want to try to talk to you, Peace. That's all I want to do.
Hey, man, there's a lot of them out there that want to, and here tonight, at least you got your interview tonight, man. So at least something to build off of it and give you that extra motivation to get back up here for next season.
Yes, sir. Now you need to come race with us next week when we're testing out weather settings.
Oh, brother, I don't even have a steering wheel anymore. I sold that fucker.
What? We're gonna have to send you one then.
Yeah, someone sent me an old one. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Hook him up.
Logitech,
Anybody
whatever else.
listening,
Yeah, or
yeah, anybody
Logitech.
listening,
Send the
hook him up.
sponsorship. Send the sponsorship.
There we go.
Yeah, no, I sold that thing probably a year and a half ago, man. It was just creating dust in the corner. So, buddy of mine wanted to get into iRacing. I said, hey, I can help you out. Here you go. Gave him a wheel, and now he's iRacing, and I just stay up here in the booth.
Look at you being sweet.
I know. I'm such a nice guy.
Little old softy.
Yeah. All right, Jeremy, enjoy the rest of your night, man. Great run, great season, and we can't wait to see you back out there, brother.
Appreciate it, Peace.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our third place finisher, the number 3 machine. It is Jeremy Vaughn. Vaughn comes home and rounds out our podium here this evening after leading the first 40-plus laps of this race, man. Looked very, very good. Looked very strong. Looked like he was going to potentially win this race, but unfortunately did not play out for him there later on, and it has to settle in for a third-place run here in this one. But, man, we'll get all these drivers back in action, man. Maybe some new faces in here as well with the new season around the corner. That's going to draw in a lot of hype, and a lot of guys want to get back into it because they know that they're going to have a better opportunity with the new season for the points. And, man, that's going to create for some great racing, some great action, and it's going to be another amazing season here at the Dirt Warrior Racing League. So we can't wait for you guys to be back in here and see all the amazing racing here in this one as Brian says, well, I'm James Ellington on iRacing. I'm still fairly new to all the league stuff and these broadcasted races. Hey, brother, hey, that's what it's all about, man. And you start getting your toes into it and everything else. I mean, you just keep building up, man, and we'll get you figured out. We'll get you figured out. You get the hang of it, Brian boy. You'll get the hang of it. That's for certain. It's all good, though, James. Enjoy the rest of your night, brother, and we can't wait to see you back out there on the racetrack, back into the action here for Season 23 of the Dirt Warrior Racing League. But unfortunately, that will do it for us here in this one, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We can't thank you guys enough, man, for such an incredible season, so many incredible races, the storylines, the battles out there on the racetrack, and the new drivers out there, the performances that these guys put on for us, man, the incredible performances week after week after week, man. We can't thank, obviously, all the drivers enough, all of our sponsors enough, all the admins enough here for the series, and can't thank you guys enough for tuning in and showing the love and enjoying this amazing racing week after week after week. Unfortunately, though, that will do it for us here in this one. We'll be back up in the broadcast booth again tomorrow night. We'll be in here for our Hypershift Racing League and another great race, another great show here on PeaceMaker Gaming. Hopefully, we'll see you guys right back up in the grandstands, cheering those drivers on, or at least cheering me on for being up in the broadcast broadcast booth, coming in, showing the love, just watching for a few minutes, hitting the like button, dropping a comment or two, man, helps our streams out every single race. So even if it's not a race you're in or something that you're interested in watching, just coming in and showing the love and enjoying the racing for a few minutes. And as I said, hitting the like, dropping a comment helps us stream out a ton. So hopefully we'll see you guys back in here tomorrow night for some more amazing racing here on PeaceMaker Gaming. But thank you all for watching. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll see y'all back here in the next one. Peace and love, ladies and gentlemen. Peace and love.
Sun's sinking low on a workday sky, but there's a hellfire looking every driver's eye. You can hear the engine screaming from a mile away, tearing up the silence at the end of the day. Fire in the pipes and a blur in the eyes, where the clay meets the chrome and the sheet metal flies. It's a different kind of gospel, a different kind of heat, when the rubber meets the clay and the slide's complete. It's a Wednesday night street fight, hammer on the gas, tailing out and screaming, looking for the pass. From the green flag drop to the checkered flags waving, it's a Wednesday night war and the dirt we're craving. No points for pretty, no room for grace, just a bit of bumper and a killer pace. Yeah, we're living for the slide and the engine roar. Wednesday night street fights, give us some more. Got a dirt track legend and a beat up Chevy and a rookie kid that's right foot heavy. He's searching on the high side, looking for some grip. One wrong move and he's gonna let it slip. He's leaning on the cushion, bouncing off the wall. You gotta have the guts if you're gonna have it all. Let the sparks fly high, let the header scream. Everything you got for that dirt track dream. It's a Wednesday night street fight, hammer on the gas, tailing out and screaming, looking for the pass. From the green flag drop to the checkered flags waving, it's a Wednesday night war and the dirt we're craving. No points for pretty, no room for grace, just a bit of bumper and a killer pace. Yeah, we're living for the slide and the engine roar. Wednesday night street fights, give us some more. Hands on the wheel, white knuckle grip, keep the nose tucked in, don't let it slip. Riding the berm, a catfish in the bottom, find a gap and you know we got her. Wash off the mud, fix the bent up tin, just to turn around and do it all again. It's midweek mayhem underneath the lights, chasing down the checker through these dirt track nights. It's a Wednesday night street